Good morning. Hey, Tony. Good morning. How are you, my friend? I really need to move this guy. Moving the body of the core unit out of here. Hey, Ken. Welcome. Doing pretty good so far. Nice. Any how's your dad doing? How's your mom doing? How's everybody doing? Ken, how are you? How's your fam? I may take those guys off. I haven't decided yet. Good morning, George Kentony. Totally lost me, but that's all right. I haven't had enough coffee yet. Good morning, Ray. What's going on? Everyone seems okay at the moment. Good, Uncle Ray. All right, so guys, if you remember yesterday, all the stuff that was done with having a wing on here and all these, this is what's left so far. This is what I hacked back to yesterday, including hacking off the back of that thruster and then finding this backpack piece in my Greeble bin and then hacking off part of that, which will end up going on here. I just got to open up some of this thing to get a vent going. But you're one person now, like station in Bill and Ted. I haven't seen Bill and Ted's 2 in ages. I have to watch that again. So went to paint yesterday, and the handle on the gallery bar was cracked all the way around the handle. Oh, shit. Wow. Tony, how long have you had that brush? Hey, Joe, good morning. Wow. I have been completely ideating on this thing. I know exactly what we're going to do now. We're going to run an idea by morning, beautiful space balls. Never dropped it or mistreated, and it had it since. Hold it. You've had it for 2 months and it's cracked? Ooh. Where did you get it from? Joe. Here's hoping, Tony, that you'll be able to get some kind of relief on that. So the wing root is the only part that's literally stayed, and I'm going to keep that. But all this stuff has been hacked back. Yeah, I did. I carve out the face on the mono eye, and I am working on. Nice. Good for you, Joe. You happy with the results so far? Oof. That might be an email to gallery and just be like, hey, guys, WTF. Oof. Oh, God. All right, let's get some. I'm going to be doing, on top of this, just going to be rounding this section. This one here, I haven't decided if I want to taper it back or not. May the Schwartz be with you. I emailed them yesterday, but it's China and the weekend. So do they not have an American store? Like not an American storefront? All right. I am thinking we're going to hack back on this thing. All right. Let's carve the rest of the body before we start adding stuff on here. Hey, Nick, what's going on, brother? Nick, I thought you'd be, thought you of all people would be interested in seeing this. That's what's left. I've hacked back on the wing significantly, the wing root, top and bottom. Removed that back piece, and the extended wing has now been removed, and that's going to just get filled and rounded. I also posted on Barbados Rex's channel in a comment and asked him about the quality control for products he has his name on. Good for you. Yeah. Look, let's really be honest here. I'm going to take a guess and say that those airbrushes are fairly profitable, you know, that they're making money on them. And therefore, you know what? Take care of a client and be done with it. Let's hope. I had some plum wine and shawarma. Ooh, I love shawarma. Good for you, Joe. Last night I did the whole layout for the cockpit, and it will be a firefighter mech. Nice. That's exciting, Joe. Joe, you said you are posting this stuff on YouTube. Is that correct? Okay. Let's bring this down. Yeah, I think I kind of want to do that. But first things first, I want to, like I said, I'm going to round this or finish off this back section. I like the way that it's squared off back here. Round in the front, square in the back. I'm going to continue with that. I may actually break out the Dremel. I have actually been using the Dremel on this thing like crazy. He's making money for them for sure, but I have had my Procon. Oh yeah, not a single. Yeah, this is my point. It's not that he's making money. I'm sure it's a profitable thing. If they're made in China, their manufacturing costs are probably not all that high, or certainly less than if it was made in Japan. Have you test fitted to the body? Don't have to, because this is what it's going to get mounted to. And what I like about it so far is I've got basically the height that I kind of want. You can actually see that. And it's going to get slotted right in to this piece. So I'm pretty happy about the way it's going so far, Nick. Hey, Mike, long time no see. Good morning. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Plum wine is so good. No hangover. Nice. I think I've used it for like 4 kits. It should not have. Oh, no. No airbrush, unless it's been abused, should break. I mean, they shouldn't break. Needles, yes. Other little doodads on it, yes. But the body on it, nah. Okay. I'm going to mute you guys for a little bit. I'm going to grind away. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Tony's sending me a bunch of photos by the looks of things through Line. Thank you, Tony. I'll take a look at those later on. Oh, and George, whenever you get a chance. I will definitely do that. Thank you. Mr. Mike, I was hoping you'd break out a pull and have it, but I guess this kind of grinding is also acceptable. I'm glad. I would grab a pole and do it, but I don't think you guys would really appreciate that, right? Thank you. Brought out the big gun today. Got the corded grinder. Yeah. Nick, this thing is probably older than you are. Yeah, I've had this since the 70s. It's got to be. It's like I remember getting this thing for, I must have been model work. Maybe it was the 80s, but still, it's been a while. Yeah, it's good. I like it for exactly this reason. Was it one of the super nice ones? I have a gallery, a basic one. I would have send you one if you need. Let me know. I bet at least Kid and I would appreciate the artistry you put into your dance. No, you won't. Well, maybe you would. Okay, Ray, you definitely would. Yeah, it was a Swallowtail that Barbados Rex endorses. Wow. I mean, other than the handle, it is a good airbrush. Yeah. The Zoom meeting, my first, was very informative. Just wish I didn't have work at 3 a.m. Yeah. Mike, did you enjoy? Was that that wasn't your first one, was it? I thought you were on others before. Maybe I'm wrong. That's not too loud, is it, guys? If it's not too loud, I'm just going to keep going at it like this. Actually, I don't know what to do. I want to mark off about how far down I want to go. Let's go right about to there. So my thought is to create a scoop and then a flat back to it. Nah, that's fine. You pull in's giving me Christopher Walken and vibes. George, we're gonna complain either way. Just do you, boo-boo. Love it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm liking that scoop right there. That's good. There we go. So that will end up being sort of like the general, sorry about that, guys. Sort of like the general shape that I'm going for. Just do it's going to go, there's going to be some sculpting. There's going to be both some putty work and some plastic work here to get this thing done. But I'm liking how this is looking so far. My first time to participate, I was on once before, but with no camera or got it. Okay, you're just observing at that point. All right, yeah, I thought you were on once before. Yeah, it's a fun group. I think sometimes people get caught into some, like the original conversation about custom water slides that Mike O'Keefe wanted was again, that's kind of why we do these things, especially for members who can't show up in person. But it obviously went on for a little while. And it's, sometimes you guys got to get through and get everybody else engaged. But other than that, I think overall, that's kind of like the tenure of the conversation. We talk about what we're doing. Usually the after show is when things get really interesting, because that's when it's like, we're not even talking about models. God knows. Sometimes we're talking about models, and sometimes, most of the time, it's just about hanging out. And basically, it's almost like, everybody's getting just unwinding from the week. It's great. All right, let's do the other side. And then I gotta tell you, I am really happy with this so far. Let's see what the final will look like. But I'm really digging it. Let's take some photos here. I'll spin this thing just to make it look like it's active. Now, actually, we'll grind away at it. Hey, Edwin. Good evening. How are you, my friend? Yeeks. It slipped my fingers. Just wanted to drop it quickly. There we go. Yeah, that actually looks pretty damn good. Hey, Edwin. Hey, Edwin. Went to the game event at the mall play. The game, filled the survey, and got a Nick coaster. I'm assuming nice coaster. This thing is spitting plastic everywhere. Plastic everywhere here. All right. Shape that back now, too. Pretty parallel surfaces. Now we're just going to do some cleanup. Yeah, I got to tell you, if idea into reality are two different things, but let's hope that this thing comes together the way I'm envisioning, because so far what I'm seeing, I'm liking. Hey, Peter, good morning. What was the game that you were playing, Edwin? I think I need to segment these things a little bit more. Okay, 240. I can't remember if I have a 120 down here. God. Probably just look at a bunch of these things and start getting ready to toss them. or use them for other purposes. I mean, I can tell you right now, 240 and 400, I burn through like it's nobody's business. 600s and 800s, rarely. I will break out that 800 and that 600. That's 600. Everybody's saying hello. Just to go to another 2-day event, but the event was canceled at the last moment. Now gonna paint something tonight. Nice. All right, let's start with this first. Question is whether or not I want to actually flat that. I might flatten that out a little bit. Maybe not. I do kind of like that angle. I like that it's not all squared. Yeah, I kind of do like that. Nah, we'll leave it be. Did you see the Rob Base? I did not. Oh, man. Oh, Tony. Wow. Dude, how old was he? I mean, mid-late 60s, maybe? Kyle Busch, the Rob Base man. Rob Base man. It's been a bad, yeah. Being a mod apparently earned me a new nickname, Almonstrator. What are you a mod for? Holy, he was 50. Oh my God, man. Again, when you start hearing ages that are kind of like where you are, like me, he was younger than me. Fuck. Okay. Kyle Busch is only 41. Yeah. I don't do like he was NASCAR, right? I don't do NASCAR, so I don't really know him much. And again, less of an impact on me. I'm not trying to sound cold about it, but I just don't know him well enough. I mean, obviously anybody who dies young it's very sad. But interesting. He was younger than me. Fuck. $59 according to Google, right? Yeah. Wow. So Peter, you didn't answer. What are you modding? I'm trying to remember now. Was Rob Base British? Yeah, NASCAR. Mom is a NASCAR lover. We just shut up and watch along. Nice. That's funny. I'm one of the Discord mods for a VTuber adjacent community. Was from New York, Harlem, to be exact. Was it Slick Rick who was from the UK? Ah, God. I'm getting a few of my way old school rappers confused here. Yeah, he was from Harlem. God. I'll tell you, I don't think Harlem gets quite enough credit for the artistry that it produced to the world. All right. I'm going to have to just grind it back a little bit here. Just got a smidge of a section here. I'm going to have to do it on the other side too. Start with that. Sorry, guys. Yeah, Slick Rick was British American. Okay. Because some of the best hip hop groups and artists. It's not just that but it's the whole that Harlem and that area around Harlem and the artistry that it produced in the 20th century. I mean, in some ways, it is unparalleled. You know, if you think about, for example, the jazz, a lot of the stuff that came after, the Mississippi Delta stuff, how Mississippi Delta grew with blues, went into a lot of jazz migrating up to New York City, and then in just exploding, throughout the 30s into the 60s. And then, right when the jazz was kind of tapering off, and then hip hop comes up, yeah. We need more Cockney rhyming slang. Yeah. Slick Rick was born in South Wimbledon, London, UK. Yeah, he was. Ken said cock. O-U. It's crazy how important Harlem is. Yeah. Yeah. Not just music, but certainly music. I mean, I will always say that jazz is America's music. Jazz is America's music. All right. I'll show you guys what we got going on right in just a moment here. I am going to have to square this area off a little bit. Let me do that. All right. I want this to be as parallel as possible. Okay, there we go. All right, so that's what we got right now. We got that nice scoop shape. And what I'm going to do is put a piece of plastic down, round the top of it. I mean, there's going to be a lot of reshaping, and I'm not sure how good my skills are at this, but we're going to do it. Blues too. Oh, absolutely. Going later this morning to see the new Star Wars Mando movie with my son. Oh, that's nice. Sounds like fun. Oh, yeah, it's going to be. I was debating doing that too. I just don't think I've got many people in the family except for my older daughter who would want to go. I went to look at houses with the. Woo! That's exciting. Peter, how did it go? Yeah. All right, guys. I think we've got the course shape down. I like the way this looks. So now what we're going to do is we're going to now start. I think we're going to start filling. And then we're going to have to start shaping some of the epoxy. Genre of rhythm and blues are rarely discussed. It was everyone in the early 2000s. I think it still is. I think R&B has changed so radically over the years, at least from what I hear in different incarnations of it. But I think it's still being discussed. And when you talk about R&B, are we talking about 70s R&B? Are we talking about 2000s? Modern? More modern? Well, the genre of R&B. I'm in a huge blues phase. Yeah. That's weather always makes me want to listen. Oh, really interesting. Asked me if I wanted to go. Said yes. Can't say I'm excited or not excited to see it. I kind of lost interest in Disney Star Wars. Oh, I'm totally out of Mando was good. And so was Andor. I like both of those. The rest of it, I just kind of tuned out. I don't even know if I watched the last of the last season of Mandalorian. Well, we gave up on Disney. It's just like, there's just not a lot of stuff. There's some good stuff, but it's like I can't see the same properties over and over and over again. So we kind of gave up. Troy has Jazz Feast every year. Yeah. We got the Newport Jazz Festival, and I really want to go again. Went, it's got to be 15 years ago. Oh, it was great. We found some we kind of like, and this may just be being overly cautious. Most we saw were two-story houses. I worry the stairs will become an issue when getting older. Peter, how fit do you think you are? And then yeah, I mean, I feel we're in the same position. My wife and I are thinking, do we sell this house at some point? Bedrooms are on the second floor. Do we sell it and move into something that's all or has a first floor primary bedroom? Don't know. Not in the cards anytime soon, but '90s and 2000s R&B, it was clearly a distinct genre part. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. One cannot conflate the two. I agree with you, Edwin. Okay. The question is, do I want to start doing epoxying on this thing now, or do I want to wait till later? I do want to put a little something right there to beef that up because that cracked some of this when I was taking it apart. If not, it makes a return to the franchise worth it. Yeah, we watched the first season, but we gave up on Disney afterward. And I don't want to pay for Disney. Just don't care. I will find another way of watching Andor second season. I enjoyed it. But it's just like I said, it wasn't just is it important enough to have that much to have that many streaming services, particularly for things I'm not a big fan of. Second season, but and the first season was good. I enjoyed it. All right, let's see if this will work. I'm looking at just a little bit of a support strut here, just to support this crack piece. Yeah, that'll be fine. Just need a little sliver in here. Yeah, the question always comes back to, is it worth enough for me to then pay for the service? Okay, it's good, but is it that good? You know? Yeah, we'll do that. All I'm doing here is just adding some structural support. This is all going to get trimmed back too. I just need this thing to not. I might have to actually get another piece in here too. I'll cut back on some of this. But right now, it's just to create rigidity. There, I'm going to get another piece in too. Yep. Okay. But Tony, that sounds like a really cool thing, just to go out and, again, hang out with your son, like you said. Yeah, good time, right? Sometimes it doesn't matter what you see. It's just a matter of seeing it with somebody that you love. I am mostly rock and metal fan, and apparently some classical music technique and blues are the foundation of it. Oh, of course they are. If you go back to Ozzy Osbourne's guitarist, the guy who died young, Randy Rhoads, he was right about to leave Ozzy and go do, I can't remember, just learn more techniques, jazz and classical, if I'm correct, guitar. Let's get this out. It's just everything else that are massive disappointments. Yeah. Yeah, Peter, the other thing about it, though, is if you get a house that has, maybe it's all on one floor, I'm assuming it's going to be a much, much smaller house, because I'm assuming the benefit of having 2 floors is you get more space, even though it's going up, which sucks if you get older. But at the same time, I'm assuming any larger home that is 1 floor is probably more expensive because of the amount of land. There we go. Again, all I'm doing is just beefing this area up. And what we'll do is when we get to later, when we get to just doing all the cleanup, it's going to get mostly ground away. I did not like Andor, to be honest. I was bored with it, and I was falling asleep watching it, so I never finished it. Man, it was good. Yeah. Again, everybody's got their thing. My younger daughter and I were having a very interesting conversation a couple of days ago. Every month or so, she and I just sit down and we just talk, and it's about whatever's going on. And we were talking about music in particular, and how, music is always a very personal thing. Any kind of art, is very, very personal. It's like food. What's the best food out there? Everybody's going to give a different opinion because of whatever thing strikes their fancy. Music is the same way. Art is the same way. Season 1 and 2, season 3 jumped the shark with fan service and blatant reference and MO. Yeah, I haven't seen I don't remember how much of it I did or not. Sister Rosetta Thorpe, the grandmother of rock. Planting my basil factory today. Want to have 16 plants going. Basil. Let's see. I agree. Mando season 3 was fan service and intro to Ahsoka. Yeah. See, that's the kind of stuff I don't care for. Dude, give me a good solid story. But if you're trying to lead me into another story in order for you guys to become more profitable, fuck off. I get why you do it. I just don't care for it. The land plots are small in Japan as land in the bigger cities are at a premium, so they build up instead of out. Exactly. That makes total sense, Tony. I mean, Peter. So the question is, I mean, well, here's another thing, and it ain't cheap. You can always put in some kind of a mechanized stair lift, or you could put in an elevator. I've got a friend of ours, and he did that when they moved to their place in New Hampshire. They had an elevator installed because his wife was going through ALS. And by the end, that's the only way they could get up and down. And even now, at his age, he's in his mid 80s. That's the only way he can get up. I shouldn't say that. No, he can take the stairs, but it's getting harder for him. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom is a great movie about blues singer. Have I ever seen that? I don't think I have. Get an Escalator. That might be a little bit more money, even than an elevator. All right. We got that all taken care of. I'm going to do, before we get to epoxying, I'm going to see if I can get bullnosing done on these two ends here. And then we're going to call that done. I think we're going to use this massive tubing to create a small bullnose. And then if this works out, I get to do it all over again. I'm so excited about that. But I will say it's been a fun ride so far. Okay. Let's cut a piece, and then we're going to have to bisect it. Get a discombobulator. How about a T-mat, otherwise known as a transporter? Just beam from one area to the next. There you go. All right, let's put away some stuff here because it's starting to get a little messy. Okay. Let's get this cut. First things first, let's measure. And we're looking into the tax implications of potentially purchasing 2 adjacent parcels of land and converting it into one plot. Oof. That sounds like expense. That sounds like it's expensive. Yeah, fuck it. Let's go to 17 and trim back. Oops, go out here. I need. There we go. Transmogrifier, like Calvin and Hobbes. I'm sorry, transmorgifier. Ooh. Transmorgifier. All right, now we're going to cut back on this. I mean, I made it way too long, but I'd rather go long and get it figured out. Now we're going to cut it this way. Let's see if I can do it this way. What's the best way to do this? Yeah, we're going to go this way. Sorry, guys. Give me a second. Oh, that hurts. Yeah. Hard time getting. I mean, just cutting through two interesting layers of plastic here. Give me a second, guys. Sorry. Don't want to do is get this thing caught in metal. Oh, you fucker. Maybe more expensive up front, but that might be outweighed by the long-term benefits. But as I said, currently just investigating. Yep. Well, good luck, Peter. Good luck. Like an ortho surgeon with that saw. Do I missed my calling? Is that what you're saying? Come on. Damn it. Do a free hand. Go. You're gonna do it. All the jocks do ortho. Nice. All right. Now this is way too large for this application, and that is okay because my point is to grind it down to see if I get the shape that I want. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of grinding, and that's okay. Yeah, because I think that will give me the shape that I want. Let's do this. Where's my big old block? There it is. Big old block. Before we do that, let me get rid of this. So these are all the parts that I basically hacked off the wing and the what they call it, the nacelle. All gone. Let's put them into this bin right here. I do not plan on keeping any of that stuff, but so we got Peter, who did some realty shopping. We have Ken, who's going to be doing some basil planting. Basil? Tony is going to go see Mando with his son. What else we got going on, guys? Anybody else got anything fun going on? I'm going to have some quality bench time, which I'm happy about. I'll be on here this morning for a couple hours, and then this afternoon I'll be working on this. My goal still remains to see if I can get this thing wrapped up in 2 weeks. I think that's being a little aggressive, but we'll see. Haircuts, bench time, and relax rainy day. A day of done. Maybe a little bit. Kind of depends on what the rest of the family does. My wife was supposed to have some plans, and I think those fell through. I'll be doing yard work for at least the early part of the day, and then coming down this way. Probably painting something tonight, get something to eat, and get some early sleep. Good, yeah. Yeah, it sounds like you had a long day as well, Edwin, with your with the gaming. And Edwin, I apologize. I might have missed it earlier. Did you say what the game was that you guys were playing? Probably an easier way of doing this, but I'm not going to do it. Yeah, it's hacking back, but it's going to take some time. Let's see. Okay, I'm take care of Dad. I'll catch you all later. Have a great day, George. Everyone. You too, Tony. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have fun with your son. Tony. This would be a good time for anybody to go get coffee. I'm just suggesting. I was watching Tim Harkin's Child of Mecca a couple nights ago, and they were his entourage was chiming in about, I guess things that they drink and don't drink. Tim, I guess, doesn't like beer. Yeah, all right. But he doesn't like coffee. All right, and I kind of almost lost my shit when I heard that. I'm like, really? No coffee, dude? Like soda. Let's see, but really want a house in Japan. I am not made for such close proximity living as apartment life. Others say, oh yeah, no. Yeah, Peter, I feel the same way. As my wife and I are looking at where are we going to be when we finally do retire, when she retires primarily. The thought is that I need a house. It doesn't have to be a massive house, but it can't be something that like I'm living up against other people. Yeah. I need some, even if it's, and as much as it sucks to have to, do yard work, my hope is that, we'll get to a place soon where some of the more extensive yard work I can just turn over to somebody else. But I want a little yard. I want my own space. I want my own walls. I don't want them abutting against anybody. If I decide to crank up my stereo, I don't want to, have somebody freaking out. That's what there were several games. Tekken 8, Ace Combat, but I only play Captain Tsubasa, a football. Oh yeah, I know Captain Tsubasa was wasn't that originally a manga that became an anime? I'll tell you, in the 80s when I discovered, holy shit, there's like more anime in the world than I ever imagined. When I was picking up Anime Age, Animedia, all these magazines, and I couldn't read the language, but I'm just thumbing through, and it's like, I could pick up a few characters here and there, hiragana, katakana, and the occasional kanji, but it was great. So Captain Tsubasa, yeah, football, that's cool. I just want my own place where I'm not forced to abide by rules set by others. Oh God, you're an anarchist, I see. But I can do it in my own home. I don't even need that much garden. Jeez. Peter wants enough property to say to everybody, get off my lawn. See, Peter, who's the old man here? Who's the old man here? Get off my little patch of lawn. Yeah. Fingerprint's still there, so I guess everything is fine. Okay. Let's look at this. Still got a long way to go. But we're getting there. Maybe not that much long. Everyone needs one little garden. I agree. So we talked to a potential contractor this week. That's what I said. It's like half of our deck gone. That's where I want to plant a garden. And the other side will likely end up being a patio rather than a deck. Well, I am the maintenance lead in my community where I live. I am the one who knocks. Joe. So hold it a second, Joe. So if you get a call from somebody, they'll just say, hey, there's somebody being loud and you got to be the one to take care of it. Am I reading that correctly? Do a raised bed. Your back will thank you. Oh yeah. Yeah. The bed, I'm going to probably build, what they call it, like cedar board or something like that. Just build up these beds. Absolutely. Also make it easier for the wildlife to not like that. Just build up these beds. Absolutely. Also make it easier for the wildlife to not have to strain to get their necks down to the ground too. Yeah. Very true, Ray. Thank you. Oops. Hello. Okay. How are we looking? Good cooking. Okay. We're starting to deviate, which means I got to now apply different pressure here. Yeah, I watched the anime where the football field is as long as a plane airport. Yeah. I've never read the manga or seen the anime, but I knew of it. I've seen a bunch of cells of it. And I know Captain Tsubasa has a very long and storied history in Japan, if memory serves. Maybe you can repurpose some deck boards so you don't need to spend $1,000 on cedar. Yeah. Possibly. It's not a bad idea. I'm not sure how many of those deck boards are in good shape, but not a bad idea. That part of the deck, some part of the deck is salvageable. There's a lot that's not. Oh, tomorrow I tell the office 3 violations, kicked out in the same boat. Ooh, really? Getting to say that is a benefit, but I just want to be able to live in the house that on the way I desire. I don't understand buying an apartment at the same price. Oh yeah. Okay. So Peter, interesting point. I'm sure you've done enough apartment living that you understand. I understand why people do it, especially if you're doing it. Like a lot of our clients have we work at a premier property in Boston. And the clients that are there, yeah, they have, these are easily $10 million and up, all these units. And all of them are extremely well finished. But you're right. You've got your space. You're overlooking parts of Boston that are beautiful to look at. You get the view, you get the location, you get to step outside and be able to hit a bunch of like high-end luxury stores and restaurants and all that. And if you're into that kind of living, that's great. Me, not at all. I can't stand that. Not my cup. I'm an old guy. I kind of like you. I just want my space, even though a lot of these people are older and they don't want that space, but go figure. Any case. So I look at it as, I remember at one point going through one of the other premier properties that we've worked in. And I remember going up the elevator and walking down the hallway to get to one of my clients' houses, units. The walk felt like I'm walking into a prison. Like literally, it's like, I feel like there's nothing. It just feels like you've got this dark hall and you're going, and it felt so claustrophobic. And then when I walked into their unit, the unit itself felt the same way. It felt like it's sterile and the view was okay, but it's like, you have a property that's substantially smaller than mine. This is what you're paying for? But hey, to each their own. But it's the amenities and it's the location. Same boat, same type of violations. Let's see. Did I miss anything here? But I just want to be able to, yeah. No one needs to get a sternly worded lecture from Joe. Though I hear you can bribe him with kielbasa and cabbages. I have a manufactured home. I can take it anywhere, anytime. Love it. Just seeing your shirt, Warriors. Come out and play. Dude, what's going on? Welcome. I love this shirt. The movie itself was kind of like, had its challenges, but I love the concept of the movie a lot. Right? Sauerkraut, pierogies, please. I am not a peasant. No, my cabbages. My cabbages. I understand my mother moving to an apartment complex because she no longer wanted to take care of the property. She just wants to live there. And the rental company, janitorial staff can fix and maintain. Yeah, exactly. And that's what I mean by the amenities. If you want those amenities, that's great. Personally, I'm like you, Peter. Thank you, but no thank you. And I hope I never have to get to a point where I need to have that kind of assisted living. Okay, how are we looking? Man, it's pretty square, actually. So fast, so good. Kickstarted Steve Remar acting career. Did it really? Yeah. He was... a lot of the acting, kind of wonky, but you're right. It was so question: how many people remember when this film came out? As far as I can remember, where the whole episode is just someone running with a ball and flashbacks. At the end of the episode, dude is not even in the front of the goalpost. Yeah. Well, again, I know very little about it, Edwin, but that sounds about right. When the movie came out, it was wild that theaters, especially theaters in, communities like where I was growing up in New Hampshire, were like, oh, we can't play that film. That's going to show how people really don't like police. That the gangs outnumber the police. That's anarchistic. It's so bad. And they wouldn't play the movie. Stupid. Black and brown people outnumbering the police scare the shit out of white suburbanites. Loved it. Love it today. That's the one thing I love about the film. I love the who's the guy that gets killed at the very beginning? I love his speech. Can you dig it? Love it. Okay. We're getting pretty darn close here. Pretty darn close. Not close enough, but pretty darn close. To America as Clockwork Orange was to the UK. Cyrus, thank you. Yes, Cyrus. I thought like his speech at the beginning, like I said, probably terrified white people. Just like, oh my God, you're right. I wouldn't say that it's probably one of the reasons why there was white flight from New York City, but I'm sure it didn't help matters. Anyway, is it the same though? See, unfortunately, Clockwork Orange really predates me. I don't know what kind of reaction the public had to it. I wouldn't be surprised if that were the case. Years ago, I was reading something about one of the first Doctor Who. 1970 is when the third Doctor, John Pertwee, became the third Doctor, and the first or second episode. He was dealing with what were called the Autons, and they were basically plastic beings. They were mannequins that came to life, which is scary enough as it is. But there were mannequins dressed as police that pulled guns on the Doctor, and I guess that sent like shivers through British community. Like, how could the police be bad? It's like, wild. Can you count suckers? Yeah, exactly. Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of the film, but I really love its messaging. Particularly like the first like half hour of the film is just fabulous. You can went ape shit crazy. Kubrick self-censored and took the movie out of the UK. Okay. Interesting. I knew that he took the film out. I knew that it was or banned in the UK. I didn't realize that was the reason. Interesting. Fascinating. How much time I got? Plenty of time. Minimum of 45 minutes. Can you dig it? Okay, how are we looking? Parallel? Not parallel? Pretty parallel to me. There are a lot of copycat crimes. Yeah. Well, I mean, the world that they were kind of envisioning was not very far from, I'm guessing, a world that they were living in, right? I mean, when your general population believes everything is fine, everything is nice, smooth sailing and everything like that, and you start realizing, no, there's a lot of shit going on. And the reason for that shit isn't because of purely because of bad people. It's because of bad situations that have put people in, that have had people then put into. Copycat stuff. Though honestly, let's really be honest here, Ken. Who wouldn't want gangs to look like the way they look like, with the padded crotches and the eyeballs on the sleeves? I love the look of their gangs. Yeah, it was mental. It was mental back then. Yeah. I missed the entire thing. I didn't watch it until a decade later. The Warriors or Clockwork Orange? I didn't see the Warriors until probably the mid 80s. Too young to see it in the theater when it first came out, because it came out in 79? How old was I? Yeah, I wouldn't have been old enough. Then again, my uncle took us to see 10. That was traumatizing to him. But Clockwork Orange, when did I first see I must have seen Clockwork Orange in the early 80s. So certainly a decade after its release as well. Still one of my, probably right now, my top 3 films of all time. I miss the whole matchy gangs of days gone by. Yeah. That film is bordering on, in my opinion, being the perfect film. Okay, we're getting closer. We'll probably got about another millimeter and a half to go. Co-opted from American motorcycle culture. Yeah. You ever see The Wild One? I got to tell you, isn't that fascinating? The Wild One and the James Dean film. What the hell? Rebel Without a Cause. Just a lot of that stuff. Then, of course, you had, then you get into the late 60s. And, of course, then at that point, you've got Easy Rider. Clockwork Orange. Still have not watched Warriors. It just does not interest me. Yeah. Peter cannot dig it. Exactly. Brando. Yeah. Marlon Brando was in The Wild Ones. That was a very interesting film. And definitely one that I think I need to revisit at some point. Not a great film, but just the entire concept of how, you got this asshole motorcycle gang coming into a town that basically doesn't want anything to do with motorcyclists, right? There is no war in Ba Sing Se situation. Edwin, what is that? That sounds interesting. Whatever happened to films that scare the shit out of people? Like, not horror films. I mean, like, legitimately scare the shit out of people. Are we beyond being scared? Or is just Hollywood not producing that kind of stuff? Rhetorical question, I guess. Anyway. Peter does not dig it. Love it. Okay. How are we looking? Mighty close. Mighty close. Still not there, but mighty close. And all it's going to do is it's going to create a little bit of a rounded edge. That's all I want. Just enough of a roundness. Hell's Angels by Hunter S. Thompson is a great book. I got to read the book. I have not read that one. Actually, that might not be a bad next read. Thank you, Ken. Yeah, that's on my hit list, but I have not read it. I did a couple years back. I did read Fear and Loathing. Just telling you, what a fucking wild ride. Yeah. Okay. Again, just trying to make sure that this thing remains square if possible. And we're getting to a point where it's getting a little trickier to do so. There are still scary things to watch. They are called The News. Yeah, well put, Peter. I think you would like it. Totally wild. Oh, yeah. I don't glorify that time, the 60s and 70s. I was way too young for it. But what I appreciate about the art and culture of that time, it was basically a fuck you to what we've been dealing with. There was finally some changes. And overall, at least those who were printing books, publishing art, making the films, like funding them, like Hollywood, we're like, absolutely, let's do this. It's been a long time coming, and we know we can make money at it, etc. And that time frame, that late 60s through right before Star Wars changed everything for the worse, in my opinion, but that's another conversation. But you had all of this stuff going on, all these books, this music, everything, this whole culture that was coming about that was pushing the bounds. And maybe because I'm a bit of a progressive, I guess I kind of appreciated it. Not all of it, but I appreciated that we were moving society forward in ways, with truly adult themes, not just mindless, pablum. Electric Kool-Aid Acid Test was also a great book. Lots of historical references to American alt culture. Yeah, that might be something just to read from a historical perspective. Yeah, I think one of the things I want to get back to also is I got to get back to Howard Zinn's The History of the American People. I think that's what it's called. I keep getting the title wrong, but you know which one it is. It is a dialogue from the Avatar when the crimes are high, but the Earth Kingdom comes up and everything is okay. Nothing to... got it. Yeah, okay. Touches on Kesey's merry pranksters. Really? Okay. Might be some more stuff that... I've never really had an interest in stuff like that, but, like drug culture just never really did it for me, just reading up on it. But at the same time, if there's cultural stuff, that interests me, particularly of that time frame. Partly because to me, it's like a lot of that time. Hear me out here for a second. It reminds me very much of like why I'm interested in things like Titanic and Chernobyl. There are times when things were supposed to be, things are supposed to be great. You got a nuclear facility that's powering a location. That's great. You got a ship that's supposed to be fantastic. That's great. And then something with, a bunch of different bullshit that happens around it and other human failings that cause these things to fail, right? And I know this is kind of like an interesting tangent, but from my perspective, it kind of fits in the same way, because what ended up happening was with a lot of that cultural stuff was you had a backlash from a conservative right, but more so you had people who were like well, as long as we make money, it's good. And then when the money started to change, and let's go back, let's make Star Wars and more popular type of stuff again, you start losing that aesthetic that was really important from the 60s. I'm not sure if that makes sense to anybody, but in my mind, it does. Okay. This appears to be done. Oops. I'll show you guys real quickly. So all I did was just grind away to create this. Oh, for fuck's sake. Sorry, guys. It's hard. It's just sitting. These pieces are just having a hard time sitting there. Anyway, that's all I'm doing. Is just creating this slightly rounded top section here. Drugs are just part of the culture. Yeah, exactly. Says the Dane. Wop, wop. American culture. Is that an oxymoron? Yeah. No, actually, funny enough, as much as there's always rebellion against American culture, how much it has sway over the West, or over the entire world, not just the Western world. Yeah, that's exactly where I want it. Okay, good. Let's glue this piece on. We'll save this other piece for later. I think I'm gonna have to cut back. Give me a second here, guys. I just want to see how I'm going to do this. I got to grind back a little bit of the material here. I could fill in. Yeah, I might just fill that in later. Yeah, just do that. Just need to get this thing rounded. Okay. Says the Dane. Wop, wop. Okay. Cut back. Wop, wop. Hey, Fizz. What's going on, brother? Welcome, 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 welcome. Clearly piss Ken off, but in such a place that's segmented across race, origin, income, geography, and so many other factors, what actually is American culture? Really? Biz! No, not pissed. Amused. Yeah, I'm sort of in the same place. I'm amused by it too. You can love it or hate it, but it is true. And I'm not sure I love it necessarily, but it is true. It's a good word, Fizz. How's your evening going? All right, let's get that glued into place. And we are, actually, let's take a photo. I like to try to document as much as possible. I'm trying to. I'm trying to get back to documenting. Let's get a knife here. There we go. But dismissing American culture or saying it doesn't exist is false. I agree completely. Absolutely. I mean, even to this day, if we think about whether we like it or not, and I'm not saying that I like it, but whether you like it or not, American culture has influenced quite a bit in this world. Take a look at dress in general. Again, its existence. I am asking for an explanation of what it is. What is American culture? Everything from rock and roll through dress. I mean, so much dress is still steered by what happens here in the U.S. Why is it everybody wants to live in the United States? I mean, I haven't figured that one out, but why is it that the lifestyles of the rich and famous always seem to have something going on here? Cowboys, cigarettes, take your pick, all of it. And Peter, I'm not saying it's for the best. I'm not arguing. I'm just saying it is. And there's a lot. Okay, let's glue this on. And I will tell you right now, so far, I'm digging it. I am digging this. There's going to be a lot of work left. A lot. But I think I've actually come along a little further than I actually expected. Okay, let's get the glasses on to make sure this thing is situated correctly. That's sitting well. That is not. Okay. And that will just grind down a little bit later. So I guess these wings are not perfectly parallel, which is fine. Anyway, that's what we got. So we've now got this bull-nosed end right on there. All right, I'm getting fucking tired of this too. Guys, give me a second here. 1 second. Just trying to find something darkish. See if this works. Sorry, guys. I fucking had. I'm getting tired of this too. I apologize. I'm asking for you to articulate it when referencing it. We hear you. I think we kind of did. At least I did. Okay. Let's see if this helps at all. If it doesn't, yeah, there we go. A little bit better. So what we've done is we've just basically added that round piece right up top there. And I'm going to do the same thing on the back side here. There's so many aspects to what I understand. To be American culture, I am simply asking you to articulate which part is referenced. Didn't I just do that? If I didn't, let me know, Peter. But I thought at least I thought I did. Maybe not. So is Nick still here? Because Nick must be asleep. Trying to get a general sense of what Nick thinks of this so far. We got that. I'm going to do this side, and then what I'm going to do is also start working on this scoop area. Around it. I'm still here. Okay. I wasn't sure if you were I'm expecting you to chime in a little bit, not on the conversation, but on like what I'd like your take. What do you think? In fact, a lot of this kind of reminds me, that sort of scooped feature right there reminds me of the missile pods on the Destroid Phalanx. That's the one where literally its arms are like there's a rocket in the thruster in the back, and what they call it, and a missile pod in the front, and it has a bit of that scooped look with a thruster coming out. I will likely not put the thruster in. I think I'm just gonna just patch it up and then just do a lot of I'm not sure yet. I think I'm just gonna just put greebles on the top of it, just kind of put pieces on it. Looks like good work. Just waiting to see it's starting to come to and trust me, it's still in a very rough stage. My hope is, and like guys, just so you guys do know, I typically will single out Nick for a couple reasons. Not that I think that, how do I want to put this? I want to be polite about this. Nick's instincts when I've been doing modeling, and Nick, how long have we been knowing each other? 5 years? 6 years? It's been a while, right? Nick's instincts when I do a model have always been ones that I've appreciated, because generally when he says, have you, or you may wish to, or that's good or not, it's usually I'm kind of agreeing. I look at it very much like when I read reviews for movies. There are people I'm not going to read because I don't care for their opinions. But there are people like back in the day when Jay Carr from the Boston Globe was a reviewer. I appreciated his commentary. I have always appreciated Roger Ebert. So these are the people that I would read or listen to or watch or whatever, because I've always, around 5 years now. Yeah. And it's because there's so much history now. There's enough of it that I can say this opinion really matters to me. And Nick's opinion, not that it's the thing that's going to determine ultimately what I do, but Nick's opinion is the one that, like if he's like, you're really off base on something, I will likely end up listening to it a little bit more carefully. And I apologize if that sounds like I don't like value as many other people. That's not the point. It's just that with Nick, it's just been like there's been a lot of interesting commonality to when he says something. I'm like, yeah, I typically agree. I hope that makes sense. And again, I'm not trying to be to dismiss anybody else. If I did miss, but I think there are two conversations going on. Some of the George's on stream, recommendation in the references chat. I lost track which were tied to which. That's all right. Around 5 years now. All right. That's a wrap on first half of today's work. Nice long weekend from UPS. Now off till Wednesday. Awesome, Mike. Mike, how's what are you working on currently? I know you mentioned you were working on a couple things last night. All right. Let's get the bottom one done. And this one's going to be a smaller tubing. And I think this one, I could grind down the wings on this one and actually taper it down a little bit more. That could actually be better. Do I want to do that? Changing the plane of those things significantly? I mean, there's going to be a lot of putty work on this thing. It's possible. Yeah, I'm not sure I want to do that. Kind of like the way that's. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep it the way. Thanks, Joe. Nah, Nick, thank you. Yeah, I'm just debating right now whether I want to taper this out. I could just taper it on one side, bring it down that way. All the detail on the surface is going to go anyway. Well, if I start grinding on this, I'm in it. I am in it. I mean, anything can be repaired, but if I do it, it's kind of like I've committed. And you know what? Fuck it. I'm committed. Let's do it. Let's grind. How much time I got? 20 minutes. just to show you what I'm trying to do. So we've now got that. Sorry, guys. Let's see if I can do this in this way. There you go. You've got that front end bullnose, right? But the back end, see how it's just a little, that wing, what's left of the wing? I was thinking about doing another round piece there, but I think instead what I'm going to do is taper it down, which means I'm going to probably have to grind away, kind of bring this top edge down significantly. Yeah, fine. Let's just do it. The worst that happens is I can repair it. I mean, mercy. Only projects I've worked on is getting the project truck out of the garage. It looks so tiny. That's my truck. That was left of the wing and engine from yesterday. Oh, yeah, that's it, Peter. You weren't kidding about getting rid of most of it. Anyways, time for dinner with the wifey. Have fun, y'all. Little Legends. Peter, have a great rest of your day. Thanks for being here. And thank you. Good conversation, Peter. Okay. So I've now, yeah, this is all that's left. I've now significantly damaged a lot of it, but that's okay because I'm going to be puttying up a lot of this, adding some plastic to it. I don't really want to do the bottom side. I think this bottom piece here, I want to keep as is. I like the way it's kind of coming into the nacelle. This on the other side, I don't have a problem with trimming down because it's of where it's located on the nacelle itself. So now I'm just going to grab, wow, this Little bits of black plastic everywhere. Okay. Let's write it down. And like I said, we'll be doing some level of repair on this thing as well. There's a lot of repair work to do here. But I'm really digging this so far. Like I said, repair is going to be fine, but I'm really liking this. Just to show you guys where we are right now, where this all stands. You can see how much material has been removed. It's actually so much that it's caused some, obviously there's a lot of stuff that I'm going to have to fill in there. And that's okay. I'm just going to continue to just bring it down. I may square off that end. I'm not sure I'm going to bring it down to I don't think I'm going to be able to bring it down to a full taper. But at least it'll be a little bit more. It'll be shorter, and that's kind of what I want. And a lot more tapered. Yeah, that's good. Now, the only thing I want to make sure I'm doing is I'm making this kind of even. It's hard to tell. That's it. There we go. All right. So what I've done now is I've tapered it down enough. I'm feeling pretty good with that. It's actually, let me just verify it, looking like it's pretty well radiused. Yep, it's well radiused. I think this is where we're going to do a little bit of repair work on this side first. I'm going to finish this side off. Let's get rid of that excess plastic. There we go. All right. There we go. Now, hopefully you guys can see that. Hopefully it'll focus a little bit. But you can actually see I've now just kind of hollowed out that area. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be putting in a couple strips of plastic in there. I'm not going to bullnose the back end. I'm not going to bring it down to a point. You have 2 of these to make, right? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Number one is let's get conceptually, is this working the way I want? Everything I've done so far, I think I'm really happy with. I will likely take this thing to full finish and then start the next one. And the reason is I think a lot of this, Nick, is still kind of an evolution. It's like everything I'm seeing right now, I'm appreciating. I may actually have to prime it as well to see, does it look exactly the way I want it to? But I might take it to full finish before we go on to the other side. The only thing I'm going to continue to keep in mind is when it actually gets attached to the backpack, less in terms of the wiring and the motorization, everything like that. But before it gets to the backpack, it's how will this thing function? How is there any other stuff I have to do to the surface, like to get like maybe conduiting to go to there? Am I going to be doing any other surface detailing that kind of matches up with it? So far, everything I'm seeing right now, I'm really liking this. I'm liking the direction, but there's still, I think, a long way to go to get it to a place where I feel like, all right, this is looking exactly the way I want it to look. But at least in terms of the pathway, I like the pathway. All right, let's get some styrene, and we're going to put some styrene in there now. We are going to do, if I'm correct, sizable styrene. Two and a half by 2.5. Actually, how thick are we? How thick are we? And I got to tell you, once we get through this, and I've kind of gotten it to where I feel like, all right, we got the right direction, I can't wait to throw the motor into this thing. That's going to be the best. I may actually have to get this part, the part with the cylinders, all done. I haven't decided if I'm going to be doing any wiring. I probably will do a little bit of LED wiring, LED wiring, not LED, just to kind of give it a little bit more character. But I'm looking forward. I got to tell you, this project, I haven't had this much fun on a project since the Spartan. Like, I'm now getting to the point where I got free time. I think I'm going to go down to the bench. I haven't felt like that in a couple of years. So I'm pretty excited about this. Okay. Whew, that's huge. 4 mil by 4 mil. Ooh, do I have it? Yeah, I guess I do. What do you know? We'll do 4.8 by 4.8. Let's try that. God damn, Shazam. I have used this before. You know. That's one chunky block of plastic. I think we might go 3.2 to 3.2 instead, and then build out. Whew. That's like some of the largest plastic I got. 6.3 by 6.3 is the largest, I guess, that Evergreen makes. That was the second largest piece. All right. 3.2 by 6.3. Let's try the 3.2 by 4.8. This is why having all of this, God, the investment that I've made in all this shit, this is why I'm so happy to have all this stuff, because I can easily just pull out a piece and just like, all right, how does it look? How does it look? How does it look? Can't do that, if you're going to be shaping the plastic. Okay, that could work. It's a little taller than I want, but maybe not. I could also just layer it. I think Ray is right, Geo. Raised beds may be the way to go, or at least that is what my back is telling me after 4 hours on all fours. Yeah, you don't have raised beds? One of my clients in Weston has raised beds, probably 18 inches, I think. I got to tell you, I looked at that. I'm like, that's great. Yeah. Pull up a chair, sit down, be able to do your work, not bust your back. Yeah. Yeah. Ray is definitely right about that. Good one, Ray. Yeah, we're going to do that. And if we have to skin it, we'll skin it. Let's just go that way. So this is the 3.2 by 4.8. Yep. That package out. I got to start being careful here. I'm starting to break out a lot of plastic and not putting stuff away. This is when the project starts getting interesting. In that I can tell when things like I got all these packages of plastic. I got all this stuff on the bench. The bench is getting crowded. I'm not picking up as much. That's when it's like the ideas are moving so quickly that I'm not cleaning up. Let's see. Nah, ripped up part of my front yard. Ripped up part of your front yard? Raised beds. That's right. On all fours. Mm. Not like that, Philly. That was Thursday night. Ooh. You want to talk about Thursday night? Can we talk about Thursday night? All right, let's get the ruler out again. Let's get this thing measured. Time check. Okay, I'm going to be running a little late. I got to get this done. I'm going to go to top is 13. Bottom is 14 mil. We're going to go to 14 mil. Can't get this underneath. Let's see. Ooh, let's try this guy. Let's see if this guy will work today. This might not work. I might be too much. Might work though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 14 right there. See if I can get this thing to sit a little bit lower. Yeah, came apart. It's pretty cool though. It's closer though. We'll stick with that. Let's hope I remember all these steps later on. That's the only concern I have about doing this is whether you remember to do all the stuff that you did before. But likely the answer is yes. That's why I'm trying to document this as much as possible too. No, I needed the money. All right, you owe me $50 from Thursday night. Nice. Ooh. I have to freshen up the mulch beds this weekend. Not looking forward to that. Mike, how's the weather up your way? It's pretty cloudy today. I'm going to try to get some of my yard work done. And then tomorrow it's raining. Yay. I get to work inside. No yard work. Oh, that's my Mike. I feel you. Yeah. I did a little bit of mulching. I got my 2 front beds and my umbrella tree taken care of, and that's it. I could refresh the front left one and the front right one. We have to figure out what we're doing there. Yeah, Ray. You got a few hours for $50. Wow. Okay. Pull it back a little bit. Give me the bastard. Give me the bastard. There we go. He gets front rates. Same here. I do hope for rain. But I also have a lot of grass to cut up north at our property. And I need a bigger mower for 3 acres. 3 acres, Mike? Oh, yeah. Dude. What do you have for a mower? Like a little 20-inch wide cutter? God. Hope you like mowing the lawn. I could break out the 3-2-1 blocks if I really wanted to, but I just don't care right now. Let's see if I can just slot this piece in. Almost there. Almost there. Not much sun in my backyard, so decided to rip up part of front side lawn. I figured, fuck it, I want a little garden. I don't blame you. Like one of these days, I got to check out your place. Ken, when are you going to invite me over? Hope it pisses off the rich neighbors. Nice. Oh, you live, rather. I mean, Ray's invited me over. I may have to, I gotta tell you, the last year when Ray and I, was it last year? I think it was last year when Ray and I did the museum, and then also did the RC vehicles on the trail. That was fun. Thinking back on that, it was a fun time. Fun times. You're welcome anytime. I'm going to no mow. It's a jungle out there. Yeah. Ray, are you like doing some kind of plantings out there that don't require? Yeah, there we go. That's what I want. Right like that. And then the rest of it will either get, it's going to get patched. There we go. All right. So I'm just going to slip that piece right in like that. Yeah, you can't see it because it's all getting washed out. And then we'll do a little bit of patching on top of it, and then we're going to start grinding. In fact, I'll probably just hit it with CA. Exactly what we're going to do. We're going to hit it with CA. And then shape it. You know what? On second thoughts, no. We're just going to hit it with epoxy. There we go. Come on. Epoxy. Come on. There we are. Right there. Okay. Parts glued in. That wing root so far is coming out spot on. spot on. Let's see. No, I have a 36-inch, I think, rider. My son is looking out for a 60-inch for me. Yeah. Yeah, like one of those commercial super wide deck ones. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm only allowed over for maintenance. Nice. Wait, we are obviously not rich, not meaning to imply that in any way. Oh, of course you are. You are like wealthy. I see what you drive. But are the poor people of the neighborhood and some people around us have found some people around us have some comfortable money. Yeah. We're very fortunate to end up here. Bank even gave us a special loan because we po. Yeah, right. Yeah. I think I actually wasn't your wife on the Housewives of West Springfield? I could be wrong, but I thought I saw her there. All right. You're always welcome. In fact, swing by today. I'll be the one on all fours. Hold it. Are we repeating Thursday? Time to go. Need to get ready for the second half of the day. Long weekend can start at 5 p.m. Have a great weekend, everyone. Mike, you as well, brother. Enjoy your time, and I'm glad that you got a few days off. Really. Do good for yourself. All right. We are done with that. Like I said, we're going to hit it with epoxy when we get to epoxying this front end. All of this stuff here. All of this stuff here. But the next thing is I'm going to be working on is getting this section right here done. Yep. Let's put some of the tools away. Yes, got a bit of a problem there. That's all right. You know what? Fuck it. Just can always fill. Just got to keep reminding myself, if things aren't aligned perfectly, it's not a big deal. We'll get them to align. And then if something is just a little out of whack, like this bottom corner here on this part, it's kind of flaring down a little too much. No problem. Fill it with something else later. I got to run the garden shop. Then we'll be home by 10:30. Nice. All right, guys, I'm going to bail here as well. Let's call it a session and say thank you so much to everybody for being here. Really do appreciate it. Later, Ken. And Gio, my car was actually wicked cheap. Ken's justifying. No worries, Ken. I'm busting on you, brother. All right, guys, stay safe and stay sane. Thanks for being on this morning. I really do appreciate it. Fun times, man. Fun times. This is a good morning, and I really appreciate everybody kind of like joining me on this ride. This is a fun ride. I'm really liking this. So I'm hoping others are kind of entertained as well. Take care and have a good day, y'all. Fizz, you too, brother. But guys, go out there and brighten the world as much as you possibly can. Again, it's a world full of hatred right now, and that doesn't have to be that way. It's going to only get better when all of us don't other people, but instead show kindness, love, and respect. Treat people with the respect that you would expect them to give you. All right. So go out there and be kind. And again, just show love to everybody. Do good, enjoy, and I will catch you guys tomorrow morning. Peace.